go right into it. Anything you got to say? Other scripture you got?
Yeah, I guess.
On your mind?
Yeah, I guess we'll go into the book of Revelation, the 18th chapter.
That's the spirit. That's it. I thought about that.
Oh, yeah?
So let's go
that's
into
the spirit.
Revelation chapter 18.
All right. The breakdown, because, you know, Elder Apostle always says we got to go into chapter breakdowns. So we're going to do that right now. Revelation, the 18th chapter, beginning at the first verse. Wait for my tablet to load up. Revelation 18 and 1. It says, and after these things, Revelation 18 and 1, and after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen. Now, when you go into the book of Revelation, the word revelation means revealed. So the Apostle John, he was sent a series of visions, and the Holy Spirit gave him the revelation of those visions, right? So reading on, it says, and he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen. Now, this Babylon he's talking about is America. America is this Babylon that the book of Revelation is talking about. Because the word Babylon means confusion. And that's what America is. It's nothing but a land of confusion. You even had this song, I always mention that as an example, the song by Genesis, Land of Confusion. And that's talking about what? America. America is this land of confusion, right? So it says, Babylon the Great is fallen and become the habitation of devils. Now what is that talking about? That's talking about the destruction of America. That's pretty much what Apostle John saw. Shalom, brothers. That's pretty much what Apostle John saw. He saw the destruction of America. And when it says, become the habitation of devils, now to break that down.
Your lies are not even open. They didn't even know this. Locked in.
Yeah, they locked in. Again, Revelation 18 and 2, and he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen. Now, Babylon the Great, like I said, is talking about America. America is nothing but a great land of confusion.
Right.
What is the examples? You got men trying to be women, women trying to be men, okay? That's just one example, right? What else? The philosophy of America causes confusion around the world. You got something to add to it?
Yeah. You know, the whole order of a man's household. Esau broke up the household, you know, where they caused the man to leave the house, the Israelite men to leave the house, and now that your children are raised by the woman, and all they deal with is emotion. They don't hash things out rationally.
That's a good point you made. That's an example of confusion, because the family structure is supposed to be headed by what? The father.
Right.
The father, then the mother, and then the children. But in America, what do they push? They push this single mother crap.
Right.
Single mother raised families. That's nothing but confusion.
Right.
And that's why the children, especially the sons, they grow up to be what? A menace to society.
Yep.
Okay, so that's an example of confusion.
Yep.
All right, when the Heavenly Father created the nuclear family, some people call it the nuclear family. When he created it to be headed by the father, then the mother, then the children. But what does America teach? They push that single family, single woman raising the family crap, okay? Which is nothing but confusion. So that's another example, okay? And by the way, the word America means bitter.
Yeah.
And that's what confusion causes. It causes bitterness, okay? So again, it says Babylon the Great is fallen. So this great confusion has finally met its demise, has finally met its destruction. That's what the Apostle John is seeing on the island of Patmos. He's seeing the destruction of America. That's what it means, Babylon the Great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils. What is that talking about? The wild birds that's going to inhabit this place. Now, to break that down, if you want to go right to the point, Isaiah the 34th chapter.
I was just there.
And you can read about the birds that the bitten. It speaks about the bitten. It speaks about the screech owl. I think the screech owl is in there, because that's what it means by devils. Okay, now High Priest Ariah back in the day, he used to break that down. That's talking about the so-called white man that finally made it to America.
Yeah, took down the Gad, you know, the Northern Kingdom, took them down. Which that's talking about the aftermath. What John saw was basically backwards. He saw the aftermath that the smoke cleared and what America had become, the biggest desert on the planet.
Right.
So it kind of breaks it down back.
Okay.
He sees that the place is like a desert, and he sees these animals, desert type creatures. The same thing Isaiah saw, the same thing in Jeremiah, the same thing. All these prophets saw, because all these the prophecies, when we go into the prophecies, right? That's the most important part of the Bible right now, right?
Yep.
So they saw it's the same prophecy done over and over again, but it's different ways that the prophecy was given to them. You know?
Yeah,
like Daniel 7 goes hand in hand with Revelation. Daniel 2 is a little bit different than Daniel 7, but Daniel 2 and Daniel 7 mean the same thing. Revelation 18, Revelation, Isaiah, Jeremiah, 49, 50, and 51, talking about the same incident. Now you have these so-called scholars, biblical scholars. When you go to the commentary, they'll give you a different breakdown of each of those prophecies, thinking that these are different prophecies. It's the same prophecy. Right. That's how important these prophecies are. That's why we're speaking about it right now.
Right.
Because the Most High kept showing the prophets, this was going to happen. This was going to happen. He showed it even to heathens. He showed Daniel 7. He gave the dream. Well, it was at Daniel 2. I believe it was Daniel 2. He gave the dream. When you read, go to Daniel 2 and 1.
Nebuchadnezzar.
Go to Daniel 2 and 1 and go to Daniel 7 and 1. And I believe Daniel 8. That was a dream that was given to Daniel. But I believe Daniel 2 dream. Matter of fact, I'm positive. Daniel 2 was a dream that was given to the king of Babylon.
Okay.
So that shows you that the Most High gave visions to these other nations.
Yeah.
Balaam,
yeah, I was just thinking about it. Yep, Balaam, yep. Daniel 2 and 1. And in the second year of the reign of Nebuchadnezzar, Nebuchadnezzar dreamed dreams wherewith his spirit was troubled, and his sleep brake from him. Then the king commanded to call the magicians and the astrologers and the sorcerers and the Chaldeans for to show the king his dreams.
So I tell you, what you read from Daniel 2nd
Yes,
chapter,
Daniel
right?
2 and 2, yeah.
So it's telling you right there that the Most High, he saw that dream and he was startled by it. What was this all about? But what he did was he went to his so-called wise men to tell me what the dream was. So they said, well, tell us, as you read now, tell us, what did you dream? He said, well, I forgot what the dream is. You got to tell me what I dreamed.
Right.
And if you don't, I'm going to put you to death.
Yeah.
And it was Daniel that said, this is what you dreamt. And he said, yeah, that is what I dreamt. And this is what it means. And even Daniel didn't know what it meant.
Right.
He really didn't know what it meant. None of these prophets knew what it meant. They didn't have the understanding. John on the Isle of Patmos, he did not have the understanding of what it actually meant.
Right.
And even in the Apocrypha, Ezra, he didn't understand it. He saw it, but he didn't understand it. And the angels explained it to him, but they still didn't understand it. Who understands it? Us.
Yeah.
Vocab Malone doesn't understand it. When you go into any of the prophetic breakdowns and you bring it out on Vocab Malone, he goes to stuttering, man.
Right. Well, we've always said that Vocab Malone, he doesn't deal with prophecy.
Yeah, well, there's a reason why he doesn't deal with it, because he was never taught it. He was never taught it. Those theological seminaries or cemeteries, they don't teach you prophecy.
Yeah, that's right.
There's certain Christian experts that do go into prophecies. But if you go to a theological seminary, they're not going to teach. They're not going to. Okay, now we're going to go into Revelation 18.
Right.
Now we're going to go into Revelation 17. And the reason why vocab thinks he knows it, because he reads certain commentaries, but really he's getting it from us.
Right.
So if he calls himself breaking down anything, really, vocab, and you know that you do this, you got your game up by watching us.
Yeah. Yeah.
GMS and the other camps out here. Number one is GMS.
Yep. Daniel 2:2. Then the king commanded to call the magicians and the astrologers and the sorcerers and the Chaldeans for to show the king his dreams. So they came and stood before the king, and the king said unto them,
Where you at?
the third verse.
We don't got to read no more. Let's go back
Okay.
to Revelation 18.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so back to Revelation 18:2. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen. So that was the angel that pretty much proclaimed the destruction of America. We now know that this Babylon is talking about is America, because in, yeah, go ahead.
I didn't mean to cut you off. I know you
No,
have
go
for
ahead.
Isaiah 34.
Oh no, I'm
Okay, yeah.
gonna get to it.
Because okay.
Yeah. I'll read it again. It says, and he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen. So like I said, we know that this Babylon the great is talking about America. We now know that, according to Bible prophecy, right? Babylon the great is fallen and has become the habitation of devils. Now like I said, the habitation of devils, meaning the wild birds that's going to inhabit this place after its destruction. Now the precept for that is Isaiah the 34th chapter. You can go right to the point.
Okay. All right. It says Isaiah 34:10. It says, and it shall not be quenched night nor day.
Right, it's talking about the fire, because that's how this place is going to go out. By fire. You're going to have fire from the nuclear missiles, because the nuclear missiles is going to hit this place, America, along with the chariots of the Lord, which the so-called white man calls UFOs. All right, the chariots of the Lord are located in the Bible. That's where Hollywood got that idea of the movie War of the Worlds, but they give credit to little green men from Mars.
You speak English? Where you from originally? Where you from? You from here? Okay. All right.
Yeah, they give credit to little green men from Mars. There's no little green men from Mars.
Right.
And those so-called UFOs are angels. They're angels of the Lord. And if you do some research, you'll find that out. Okay, when that song,
Have a good day.
that song "Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, Coming for to Carry Me Home," that song was inspired by a slave who was working out in the plantation fields, the cotton fields. His name was Wallace Willis, and many times he saw the vision of the so-called UFOs. He saw it working out there in the fields. So the spirit jumped on him to bring the song out, "Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, Coming for to Carry Me Home." I look over the river Jordan, and what did I see? Coming for to carry me home, a band of angels. So he attributed, that slave, Wallace Willis, he attributed the so-called UFOs to being angels within the so-called UFOs. And like I said, that's history you can research, okay? So we know what
Bottom line, we're a spiritual people. Yeah?
the spiritual people.
You know? We got the magic eye. Huh? We can see things. We can see things.
That's
What
right.
happened? The Most High opened up our eyes.
And that's through the Holy Spirit. So the chariots of the Lord, because give me the book of Isaiah 66:15. Because when the Lord comes back, he's coming back in these so-called UFOs, which are the chariots of the Lord. One of the things they're going to do besides deliver the elect, that's Matthew 24:30, right? One of the things they're going to do is destroy this place. Because you're going to have fire, laser beams of fire, concentrated fire coming out the chariots, destroying this place. And that's where Hollywood got the movie War of the Worlds. But like I said, they attribute it to little green men from Mars. Ain't little green men from Mars. It's the Lord and the angels. Go ahead.
Isaiah 66 verse 15. For behold, the Lord will come with
She said
fire.
the Lord Jesus Christ.
No, his name is Yahweh Shai.
You know the Lord Jesus Christ is a black man? Do you know that the Lord Jesus Christ is a black man? Do you know that Jesus is black? Of course. They ain't
said
told
Jesus
you.
is black?
They ain't told you.
They ain't went up there and told you?
Go ahead.
It says, for behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind.
Now there's some scriptures that call the so-called UFOs chariots. Some call them clouds.
Whirlwind.
Whirlwind. Okay? That's why people don't understand this book, the Bible, because the Bible is codified, man. Okay, there are certain scriptures that are written in code. And once you break the code, then you understand what it's really saying. Okay? And the only way you can break the code is if the Holy Spirit is working with you. You have to have the Holy Spirit working with you to understand certain scriptures in the Bible. Like the Apostle Paul said, comparing spiritual things with spiritual. There's certain words in this book that you have to be spiritual to understand.
Precept upon precept.
Yeah. Right. Precept upon precept, you have to be spiritual to understand it, meaning you have to have a spiritual mind.
Yeah, that's what then people will look like all crazy
Exactly,
when you said that the Lord is a so-called black man.
Right.
You know,
Which
because
that's easy. I mean, all you have to do is a little research, and you find out that the one you call Jesus Christ is a so-called black man.
truth
Just makes sense.
Truth is stranger than fiction.
Yeah. Go ahead, bro.
It says, "For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind."
So you got to envision what that's saying. The fire is going to come from what? The so-called UFOs. Laser beams of fire. Is that so hard to imagine? That's not hard for the Lord to create ships, right? Ships that so-called, you know, what you call so-called UFOs. Ships that fire comes out of it, concentrated beams of fire. That's not so hard to imagine.
Right.
Go ahead.
To render his anger.
In the book of Luke 1:37, it says, "There's nothing impossible with the Heavenly Father." That's in Luke 1:37. So the Heavenly Father can create a spacecraft with laser beams of fire coming out of it.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
ain't
these
nothing for
devils,
the
they
Heavenly
could
Father to do.
create vehicles that they ride in.
Right, the so-called white. Where do you think he got that idea from? He got that from the Heavenly Father.
Knowledge shall increase.
Right. The Heavenly Father gave him the idea to create these cars, and over the years he got more and more proficient with the cars. He got more and more creative.
Yep.
Right? Which really was Jake. A lot of these devils, they stole the ideas from Jake, but that's another topic. Go ahead.
And with his chariots like a whirlwind.
And with his chariots like a whirlwind. That's another term for the so-called UFOs, the chariots of the Lord.
Yeah, that's why Esau used to call them flying saucers.
Yep.
Right,
Because
right,
they look like saucers
right,
that flew around and were going around in
right.
a circle.
Yep.
That's why they gave it that name.
Yeah.
Flying saucers, and they call it UFOs,
Yep.
unidentifiable flying objects. Now they call them UAPs. What is it? Unidentifiable aerial phenomenon.
Right.
That was the English equivalent to a UFO.
To a UFO, right. And that's just one type, you know?
That's just one type.
You know, the Most High has, they just, the other day, there's a YouTube channel called Third Face of the Moon.
Yeah, I got.
And I think they're Jake. You know, as a matter of fact, one of the dude's name is Jake Cousins. You know, he looked like a Gadite, but they just found a cigar-shaped chariot out in Colombia. You know, and they were filming it, and it was just going like that. It was white too, and then it just went into the woods, into the forest and shit.
Yeah, those are the
You
chariots
know?
of the Lord.
Yeah.
You have this book called Above Top Secret, which was written by a retired Army Air Force colonel.
Yep.
And there's a passage in the book, I'm not sure what page, but there's a passage in the book where he mentions about he saw a so-called UFO, and it reminded him of what is written in the book of Ezekiel, the first chapter,
Right.
the 7th verse. Now, if you can go there real quick.
Okay.
Ezekiel 1 and 7. That's in the book, Above Top Secret. Now, when you look at the book, the cover of the book has a picture of a flying saucer, the so-called UFO. The reason why the Spirit God is going into so-called UFOs is because that's how the Lord's elect is going to be delivered. The Lord's elect, which is the elect of the nation of Israel, they're going to be delivered by so-called UFOs, the chariots of the Lord.
Yeah. No. Can I start at verse 4?
Yeah.
1 and 4. Okay.
Yeah,
It's
then you can explain it.
yeah.
if you like.
Ezekiel chapter 1 verse 4.
You ain't taking no pictures, right? Okay. With camera shot.
It says, this is Ezekiel chapter 1 verse 4. And I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud.
You can explain.
Yeah, so the prophet Ezekiel, he looked up into the sky, obviously, and he saw something that looked like a whirl. What's a whirlwind? A whirlwind is what you would call today a tornado. A tornado goes what? It goes round and round, right? It creates a vacuum of wind and air, and it tears shit up. So that's what he was comparing it to.
You know how they do.
They
That's
wouldn't
it,
use
that's
they
it.
wouldn't use the terminology UFO or UAP back then. So he described it the best way he could.
Right.
So he said,
he described it of the terms in his day.
right,
Like he used a cloud. They had clouds back then.
right.
Hey, let me say this. Let me
Yep.
just bring it on out. Boss Ram, I've had a phone call. Who called you?
Yashwamba.
Yashim?
Yashwamba.
Oh, Yashimamba.
Yeah,
Yashimamba. Okay.
He let me know about
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Well, anyway, the famous Kazakh, he ran into that was in
it.
Mississippi.
IUIC, yeah.
He ran into IUIC, so they got a little heated, and they pretty much started calling him a rapist. That's your go-to thing, man. Rapist.
Right.
That's really,
That's
Really?
you know.
pretty
Yeah.
much they're just slanderers.
Yeah,
That's called slander, man.
yep, yep.
Matter of fact, give me a word search on slander, and let's just bring out some scriptures on slander.
Okay.
Because out of one side of your mouth, you're saying keep the law, and at the other side of your mouth, you're falsely accusing us, man.
Yeah, fucking niggas, man.
Yeah, you
Well, I
got.
really don't get mad at them. I get mad at the leadership
Yeah,
because
the
they
leadership.
push that, man.
Yeah, totally.
It's up to Nate to say, nah, they don't do that.
Right.
And then, like you claim to keep the laws, but the law says that. do you guys realize? We're gonna change gears a little bit.
Okay.
Do you realize that? Matter of fact, go to it. Give me Exodus 21 and start at 1.
You got that?
I'll get it. All right, Exodus chapter 21, verse 1.
Women didn't have say back then, at all.
It says, "Now these are the judgments which thou shalt set before them. If thou buy an Hebrew servant, 6 years he shall serve, and in the 7th he shall go out free for nothing."
Read that again, please.
Okay, Exodus chapter 21, verse 1. "Now these are the judgments which thou shalt set before them. If thou buy an Hebrew servant."
Who's talking here? Moses, right?
Right.
He's giving the laws to the Israelites, right, in the wilderness, right?
Mm-hmm.
Am I right?
Okay.
He's
Yep.
giving
Yeah,
them
yeah.
the laws. He said,
Yeah,
I'm giving you
yeah.
the laws. So when you go in the land, this is what you're supposed to do, and this is what you're not supposed to do.
Right. Right.
You know, these are the high holy days. This is what you do. If somebody steals this is what you do. When this happens, you know, if somebody kills somebody, if you have one witness, no. You got to have 2 witnesses. So even if somebody says, well, I saw him kill this guy, they'll throw it out. You got to have 2 witnesses.
Yep. The mouth of two or three
In the
witnesses.
mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses.
Right.
So these are the laws, man. So you guys hop on, you IUIC guys, you hop on the law, but then you really don't know the law.
Right.
Yep.
Because you wouldn't have got emotional, and your go-to thing is, you guys are a bunch of you really think we're gonna go around raping women
Right.
and then brag about it?
Yeah.
Huh?
They're just being emotional.
Yeah.
You're being emotional, man.
Oh, wait a minute. We just quoted the law in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses. Do you guys have witnesses that were rapists?
Right.
You ain't got one
Well,
witness.
that's slander right there, because
Yep.
there's no.
You
You
ain't
just
got
saying
one.
it. You heard somebody said it, and you running with it, man.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
How do you
Why
know
in the
it's
hell
true?
are we gonna do such a thing like that and then brag about it?
Right.
Yeah.
That's stupid,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Well,
Yep.
we could say that your group are murderers.
Mm.
Now there's proof of one of your members murdering. What's up with Joy Morgan?
That's
You
right.
want to play that game?
And when we heard that, we said, well, that had nothing. You can't blame it on the
Exactly.
IUIC.
Exactly.
That just happened to be a man that was a part of IUIC that went off.
That went
Now,
AWOL,
you
right.
noticed that we didn't say no. We didn't ride on that on y'all.
Yeah.
And that's
Yep.
that scripture. How's it go? The Apostle Paul spoke about that. Not rendering evil for evil.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
The Apostle Paul spoke about that. Not rendering evil for evil.
Yeah.
So you guys want to play that game?
Yeah. Yeah. They don't have no character, man. You know.
Anyway, go ahead, bro.
It says, "If thou buy an Hebrew servant, 6 years."
Now you notice how mad your leader got when it was said that 2
Right.
members from Jersey supposedly killed Small Hatter, however it went down, and they attributed those members to IUIC. Your leader got he got
He got highly
clearly
offended.
He got
Yeah.
hot under the collar.
Didn't he use
Collar.
the word slander?
Yep.
Yeah.
So you're slandering us,
Right.
So what's up with that?
which is clearly against the law.
But then you say you keep the law.
But
Right.
then you say you keep the law.
Right.
And Bishop Nathaniel, you're the head of that group. You should stop those rumors.
Right.
You should tell your members, look, stop saying that. Well, even Deacon Asaph said that.
Yeah, he said he wasn't going to say that no more.
Right. Deacon Asaph said, I'm not going to talk bad about those guys no more.
But what's up with your other members?
Yeah.
That, like the Elder Pastor Charles said, that falls on your leadership.
Yeah.
I got a quick precept. Psalms 105 and Psalms 101 and 5. Whoso privily slandereth his neighbor, him will I cut off.
You got the partner right there. Hold it, come on, hold it, or hold it, hold it, let him. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
What do you read?
Psalms 101 and 5.
Psalms 101 and 5.
This is the book of Psalm 101 and 5.
It's not a bad location.
No,
Especially Paul Cursing, you might like this location.
Yeah.
You might start setting up. You might start marching around this motherfucker, man. A lot of people, man.
Psalm 101 and 5, it says, whoso privately slandereth his neighbor, him will I cut off. Him that have an high look, oh, that's your leader, man. Your leader has a super high look. Him that have a high look and a proud heart will I not suffer. So I'll read that again, Psalm 101 and 5. Whoso privately slandereth his neighbor. Now another word for slander is to lie, straight up lie. The reason why I say lie is you guys have no proof that we're rapists. You're just running off your emotions.
And then besides that, sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
Besides that, rape is in the Bible.
Exactly.
That's one of the, that's why the Most High gave the laws to Abraham to give to the children of Israel. That's why I said go to Exodus 21. Start from the top.
Go to the Lord.
A Hebrew man can sell another Hebrew man into slavery.
Right.
A Hebrew man can have another Hebrew man
Tell me more about this
in
tree.
slavery. All right. Now, as you read down in that same chapter, because that proves that you guys don't go into the law. You don't read the law. You just read a bunch of scripture. You go into prophecies and stuff. You read this.
Right.
You might throw a little law in there.
Yep.
You guys don't study the law because you would know. You would know. You would say, look, there is a law on that, but we shouldn't be doing it now because we're under this man's system.
Right.
Don't you know there's a law that if you see two men lay together like a man and a woman, you're supposed to put them to death? Now, are we doing that?
No.
Hell no. Because we're not under our rulership.
Yeah.
Esau has rulership over us.
Right.
So there's certain things you can't do. Because you're under the laws of this man. Just like you under oath. When they crucified the Lord, didn't they have to get permission from Pontius Pilate?
Yeah.
They couldn't just say, well, let's just kill the guy.
Right.
They had to go to Pontius Pilate, and he said, what did Pontius Pilate say? Now, we don't know if he was a Jake of a high position or Edomite.
Right.
You don't know it, so don't tell me, yeah, I know what it is. No, don't tell me that because you don't know.
Right.
Because you had a lot of Jakes in high position
Yep.
back then. All right?
That's right.
Very high position. To the point where we even took over the Caesar's position in the Senate and the council.
That's true. Yep.
Just like we're doing now, man.
Right. I got a precept. This is the book of 1 Timothy 1 and 6. It says, from which some having swerved have turned aside unto vain jangling, desiring to be teachers of the Lord. That's the vain jangling that the Apostle Paul is talking about. By the way, this was a letter that Apostle Paul wrote to Timothy. And he was giving Timothy the lowdown of certain guys that really didn't have the Spirit. They didn't have the Spirit of Yahushua. And this is what he said. He said, for which some having swerved from what? From the pure doctrine of Yahushua, which the Apostle Paul held. He held the pure doctrine of Yahushua. Okay? So he said, from which some having swerved from that pure doctrine, right? Have turned aside unto vain jangling, desiring to be teachers of the law, understanding neither what they say, nor whereof they affirm. And we've seen that now with this group. They desire to be teachers of the law, but they don't understand what they say.
They don't read the law. They don't understand the law, all right?
There you go.
They don't understand the law. You know what? Go to Galatians. You know what I want? Galatians 1:6.
And you got to understand, it's not the law that's going to save us. The law is not going to jump off the throne and come down here on the planet Earth and scoop us up, man.
Well,
Yahweh
that's why the Apostle Paul called the church of Galatians, "Oh foolish Galatians."
Exactly.
Galatians chapter 1 verse 6. I marvel that ye are soon removed from him that called you.
As a matter of fact, I'm sorry.
No, sir.
Get the scripture. If he is indebted to keep the whole law. You guys want to play that game with the law, you better know that for you to be justified by the law, you're in debt to keep the whole law. But go back to the scripture.
Okay,
I
Galatians
just want to have that
1:6.
as a setup.
It says, I marvel that ye are soon removed from him that called you into the grace of Yahushua unto another gospel, which is not another, but there be some that trouble you that would pervert the gospel of Yahushua.
Now you read another gospel. That group in question, IUIC, they teach another gospel.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Bishop
Christ,
Nate
Christ.
teaches,
Yeah.
oh, the Lord tells you about the name.
Right.
So you got all these secrets from the Most High, right? You got all these secrets from the Most High, but the Most High forgot to give you his name.
Right.
Right. That don't make no sense,
Right.
man. And the brothers from England, I was watching them earlier, and I noticed they got like a little different spirit on it. They're going more. Remember I was telling.
Oh yeah. I backed it up too. I said on the video you got to hit more scriptures.
Yeah. So they were going, man. They would make a couple of comments, then they go right to the scriptures.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know, them brothers, you know.
Yeah.
They mentioned about the brothers. They were getting down. They mentioned about the name. One of them said, I'm trying to remember how he said. He said, how the hell are you going to have all these secrets and not have the name? And then the Etrian brother, he said, I'm trying to remember how he said it. He said, even the other nations, they mentioned the name of their gods.
Yes.
He said it a little bit more eloquently. He said, the other nations, even they mentioned the name of their gods. How come we can't mention the name of our God? The way he said it. Right. And I was like, yeah, you know, when I was getting ready to come to camp, you guys were getting down. So yeah, keep up the work, the good work, brothers. You know, make your comments. Shalom, bro. Make your comments and go to scriptures. You know, it's like stick and move, you know? You make your comments, a couple of comments, and you go back to the scriptures.
Yeah, because you said that, and they didn't get all emotional about it. They said, yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
So we're looking out for each other.
Well,
you see us here, right? You say things, and we got a precept.
Right.
If I talk too much, somebody's gonna come up and say, well, look, I got a precept for that. You know, precept that.
Yeah,
Precept
look,
that.
this is business, man. This is Yahushua, like he told his mother. Didn't you know I come to do what?
my
father's
business.
business.
So this is the father's business.
And what's the
man.
father's business to do the word,
Right.
the
That's
whole
it,
word, man.
So
Yep.
Choose. Hey, another thing that the IUIC goes into, which Bishop Nate, he says you can only have one wife. Now, if I go back and forth with Paul Kersey, he said yes and no. You know, if you're a bishop or you're a deacon, that's true. If you're a bishop or you're a deacon, you can only have one wife. Why do you think Bishop Nate, you're a bishop now, and you're a deacon now? He puts that title on them so they can't have more than one wife. So if they do have, well, wait a minute, brother, you're a bishop and you're a, that's slick, man. That's slick. That's slick. Now what if, and basically you have a church, there's only one deacon. There's only one deacon and some, you know, because a deacon is what? A deacon is really a guy that takes care of the church.
Right.
Why do you think Paul wasn't called a deacon or a bishop?
Right.
He was an apostle. And now you guys are trying to call yourself apostle, but you're afraid to.
Yeah.
Because when you get on, I gave you the blessing already. I said you
you
call
sure
yourself
did.
an apostle.
You sure did.
Because you are sent away.
Sent away, yeah.
So now can an apostle only have one wife? Now don't get stupid and bring 1 Corinthians the 9th chapter on me. Where Paul spoke about can we lead around a sister or wife?
Right.
You can lead around a sister or wife or two.
That's right.
Because that goes back to the Lord.
Yep.
That's right. Or you can not have any wives. Like Apostle Paul,
Right.
he didn't have any wife. You know why? Because he was so diligent to the work. Okay? Go ahead.
Galatians 1:8. But though we or an angel from heaven preach any other gospel unto you.
Now, what's the gospel? What's the gospel? The gospel is the whole book.
Right.
What's part of the whole book? The Lord's.
Right.
Right?
That's why it's like apostle. That's why it says which is not another.
Right.
Because
Right,
it
right,
entails the law within it. But we're not saying that you could be saved by it. That's the thing. they're acting like you could be saved by the law.
Well, they spend more time mentioning the law
It's like a
and getting it. No. I'm
But they don't know the law. They don't know the law.
They don't know the law.
Boy,
yeah.
Percy, I can't wait till I get home. I'm gonna really get into you.
Yeah, what I meant
You guys don't know the law.
No, they don't.
You know
They
what?
don't.
You know how much you know the law is keep the law, keep the law.
That's it.
Black women, you should be wearing pants.
Yeah.
Right.
You shouldn't have more than one one woman, which is against the law.
Right.
Now, if a bishop has more than one wife, what law is he breaking? Woo, deal with that.
Yeah. Well, how about the names of these other gods? Part of the law says that you're not supposed to have the names of other gods in your mouth. Now, your leader said, oh, you can call him Yahweh Shai, but you can call him Jesus. Basically, that's what he said. Yeah, and then you said that. I was cracking up.
Change the name
I was cracking up.
Every we call him Allah sometimes.
Your leader got...
That's the fucking gospel of Bishop Nathaniel.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
There it
It's
is.
the gospel according to Bishop Nathaniel.
There it is. Your leader got more than one name for the Lord. Even on his website, we noticed that years ago. On the IUIC website.
He told that to the guy from Go Black to Africa.
Right.
He said, we know that's not his name.
We know that's not his
name.
name.
Well, why you call him on the name?
Right.
You know that's his name. And then you mentioned the name, but then you gave the Lord two names.
Yeah.
You said his name is
On the
Yahweh.
website they did that.
Right.
And you said, some say Yahshua. Why would you say that, man?
Right.
You said that to confuse people.
Yeah, man.
On the website.
Now
they
you
said-
done got me started, man.
Yeah, there you go.
And look, Kazak, you did a good job. You rolled up on him. It was the spirit that got on him. Like Stephen. Remember Stephen cursed him out, man?
Yeah.
Stephen cursed him out.
Right.
Because they were teaching one way. I'm talking about who killed Stephen? It was the people from Alexandria,
Yep.
which is they had to be a million or more people.
Yeah.
When they had the Passover, the biggest group that came out was the Israelites from Alexandria, Egypt.
Yep.
All right?
I got a quick precept, Zechariah 14:9. And the Lord shall be king over all the earth. In that day shall there be one Lord, and his name one. So he only has one name. But your leader, he gave him more than one name. Even on their website, like I said, we noticed that years ago. The
Yeah.
IUIC website, they had for the name of God,
Multiple names.
they had more than 4 or 5 names.
Yep.
And for the name of Yahweh Shai, they had 3 or 4 names.
Yep.
And we did videos about that. Okay? So we're showing you the deception of this guy, Bishop Nathaniel, right?
And then you go around with these calling out people like Geno Jennings in the church about what they should do and what they should not do according to the law. Like you go to the church and say Sunday is not the Sabbath. Guess what? Friday sundown and Saturday sundown is not the Sabbath either. You want to debate us on that?
You don't want to go there, son.
I got that precept.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 101. Just bear with me 1 second. Psalms chapter 101, and I believe there's verse 5. It's whoso privily slandereth his neighbor, him will I cut off from him that hath. I'm sorry, let me read it again. Whoso privily slandereth his neighbor, him will I cut off. Him that hath an high look and a proud heart will not I suffer.
You can break it down.
Pretty much it. Yeah, whoso privily slandereth his neighbor, because that's what you guys are doing. You slandering, you bearing false witness.
Yeah.
You know, because you can't deal with the doctrine, so you got to, resort to slandering.
They're offended by the doctrine.
Yeah.
And then Yahweh Shai said, Matthew 11:6, he said, blessed is he who's not offended in me. You guys are offended.
Now, if we get litigious,
Right.
Yeah,
you gonna really get mad.
Right. Liable. Right. That's
Right.
Yeah.
Send you to court.
Yeah.
So you're telling you going to, hey, Bishop Nate went down to Jamaica or whatever.
Yeah.
And he used my name, my government name.
Yep.
And said this guy is a rapist.
Right.
So did.
Like these people, who the hell is this guy?
You got
So
women.
that's emotion. You're filled up with emotion, man.
You got women on the internet. Watch your 9-year-old daughters around from GMS men.
And that woman that said made that statement, the Most High is going to destroy her.
Yep.
All right?
And
Most
there's
High going to destroy a lot of you jakes.
And there's a few of them doing that because of what you fucking guys are saying.
Yeah. Litigious.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you guys a question. Like if we had sat down and had a debate, but we ain't going to have a debate with you. That's like having a debate with a monkey. You guys are not deep. There's nothing deep about you, man.
No,
That's
not
why
at
when
all.
you had that's why you went to these different churches, man.
Yeah.
That's why you
gimmicks.
went to the different churches, because you know the churches don't know the scriptures. And
Yeah.
you said that they don't know the scriptures.
Right.
That's why you debate them.
Right.
You ain't gonna debate no real scholars.
Nope.
He said you come with that bullshit about the whole grape thing.
Right.
Even if you go to the blue letter, not
Right.
the blue letter. No, even
To
if
the
you
different
go to the blue letter,
translations.
the different translation, the word there is grape.
Right.
Mentioned it.
All right.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's a take by force.
Exactly.
That's
You
what
know?
the word actually means.
Exactly. But
Right.
you guys don't study. You guys don't study, man.
And that
And
and
you're being called out. So
Yeah.
let's deal with the new moon. Let's deal with the new moon being the full moon.
right.
Any scholar will laugh you to scorn, man.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
That's right. Hey, when you go to Deuteronomy 22, it gives you different scenarios of the grape. You know, different scenarios of what to do and what not to do in case this happens or that happens. What if it's a woman that's betrothed? What if a woman that's married?
Oh, it's very
What if it's a woman if
explicit.
it's not married?
It's very explicit.
Yeah.
It gives you fine details.
Right. And it gives you the what it is. It identifies it and it gives you the penalty.
The penalty, right. And as a matter of fact, like you said earlier, the word simply means to seize by force.
Exactly.
Because when you go into, you guys were making fun of us when we do that etymology.
Yeah.
You know, your boy said they can't teach their doctrine in English.
Right.
Paleo, Hebrew.
Well, it wasn't written in
Okay,
English.
well, okay, if that's the case, when you come across Acts, the 12th
Yep.
chapter, I want you to keep the Easter.
Con.
Easter
That's
is
it.
written in the Bible.
There you go.
Right.
You ain't keeping no Easter. You ain't bringing out. Bishop Nate ain't dressing up in a bunny costume.
Even though he looks like a chocolate bunny. What's his name?
Don't say that, because they'll use. Look, we're not gonna snap on you, because we don't need to snap on you. We don't
Right.
need
Right.
to. We don't need to slander you.
Right.
We got the facts on our side.
That's
all
it.
right?
That's right.
You know why I said that? Because that's what Apostle Elder Ricardo said.
Oh yeah, well,
Your chocolate bugs
yeah,
bunny.
yeah.
So I was just echoing what he said. But like Elder Apostle Dar said, he said it the best.
See,
we don't need to slander.
We don't need to slander.
We don't need to slander you. Okay? Go ahead.
The truth is on our side. Man.
That's it. That's
That's
it.
right.
The facts is on our side.
That's it. That's it.
You know what? I got something in Romans 2:1.
How that go? Reels over fields.
Reels over
Real
fields.
facts, man. Just
Yeah.
facts.
Yeah, because it's not about emotion.
Nope.
It's about,
Facts.
facts.
Like in the show
That's it.
Dragnet, my man, he didn't want no emotion. Was Sergeant Friday,
Right.
either Sergeant Gannon or Sergeant, because I be watching it, Dragnet 1967, Dragnet 1968,
Okay.
Dragnet 1970, right? And he would always say, just the facts, man, just the facts. In other words, no emotion, just the facts.
That's it.
What are the facts? So there you go. And here's a fact for you people. America's going to be destroyed by nuclear missiles.
That's it.
Fact.
Yep.
That's it.
You people ain't trying to hear that.
Nope.
Go ahead.
In a court of law, and you should know this, Bishop Nate. In a court of law, you've been in it. You spoke about that. When you got a film, you got to timestamp it, right? So they can say, well, this happened then, and this, because you can't take this film and that film and this film and put it all together and say
Right.
this happened,
Right.
because these are different events. So you're trying to make the guy
Right.
say something about these different events.
You got to
know?
itemize it.
You got to exactly. Now in court, what is a judge?
Referee.
Referee.
A judge is a referee. What is he? A trier of what?
Of facts.
Facts.
He's a trier of facts.
Yeah.
So if the judge gets involved, you ask him this series of questions. Are you the trier of fact? Are you the disinterested third party,
Right.
which is a tribunal? Hey, shalom, man. Are you the trier of fact? Are you the disinterested third party? Or are you the prosecutor in this case?
Right.
Because you got the prosecutor,
Right.
you got the defendant, and then you got the judge. He's a disinterested third party.
Right. He just did a judge.
So he said you judge somebody based upon the facts
Right.
and the law.
Right.
All right?
Yeah,
Right.
he just wants to hear the facts.
Right. And then he's supposed to
Know the facts and the law.
weigh it
Yeah,
out.
Because you can actually do something, and they say, yep, he's guilty of it, but look, I'm this, so according to the law, I can do that. You know?
Yeah, he's there to administer the law. Even though if Esau, they shift the goalposts.
And the fact can be
Yeah.
that a man committed adultery with another man's wife,
Right.
but then you bring, that's a fact. He did have sex with the woman's wife, but this is the law. That's his wife
Right.
that he's having sex with, and you're lying about being married to her.
Right.
So even though the fact is you didn't lay down with the woman, that's the fact.
Right.
But the law is on your side because that's your wife and he's lying.
Right. Go ahead.
All right, Pastor.
And you know that, Bishop Nate. You know that. You know if you went to court, that's why you don't say too much. But keep saying, keep on saying. Keep on calling us rapists, man.
Well, speaking of court, there was a court case that was brought against you. How about that? We don't talk too much about that. A court case, NYC brought a court case against you. You were mentioning a lawsuit by two men that were falsely arrested and spent, what, 11 months in jail. 11 months, man. All right? Two men spent 11 months in jail, right? And they ended up suing
Well, they
the
said
city.
the one guy was like 6'5" or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
And the two suspects were like medium,
Yep.
no more than 6 feet. So you know, as an investigator, right?
Yep.
You know that this guy, and it was one time the cop, remember you was in the car with me.
Yeah.
Remember the police came and pulled me out of, I don't know if you was with me.
No, I
think-
was-
yeah,
I was-
okay,
no, I
good.
was with you.
All right,
Yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah.
The cop pulled me out of the car because he checked my license
Yeah.
plate
It was
and
in
my name
Harlem.
came out
It was in
and he
Harlem.
said you're convicted, you're supposed to be in court for a drug case. And he said you're a drug dealer, right? I said, drug dealer? I said, are you out your fucking mind?
Right.
So we're in the car and I'm looking at this guy sideways. And then they call it in, they say, describe the guy. The guy name is such and such so-and-so, he's 6'2". I said, do I look like I'm fucking 6'2"?
We started laughing.
And then the Edomite put his head down, but there was a simple-minded
Yep.
fucking Ephraimite.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Did this shit, get
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
legs out.
Yeah.
Hey, but the Edomite cop was cool.
Right.
The Jake cop, he was cool.
Right.
And he looked at me, he said, we fucked up. He said, you ain't the guy.
Right.
And then they let me out. And then the guy said, I'm sorry about that. Please forgive us. You know?
Right.
You know, I said, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, man. Because when he pulled the gun out on me, I was in the car, the gun went right. I said, who the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And I'm more surprised than scared.
Right.
Yep.
And then we go into it, he let me go. So guess what? If he would have took me to court,
Right.
I would have got an attorney. He would have said, how tall is this guy according to the record? He's 6'2".
Right.
This guy is 5'8".
Right.
This guy's nowhere near this guy. Plus he's
Right.
dark skinned.
Right.
The tall guy is dark skinned. All right. Plus there's another guy. That's the guy you're looking for with the same name.
If
So
the
they knew. And that's why when we got arrested years ago, what did the head cop say? He said, don't put my name on nothing because we're going to get sued on this one. And sure enough, the city got sued for
That's
what
it.
y'all did to us, man.
That's right.
So they know. When you go to court, you better have your facts together and you better have that law together, right?
Yep.
There's another saying in law, if you can't get them on the law, get them on the facts. If you can't get them on the law and the facts, what's the term? The term is slander the guy. Slander him, you know? Talk bad about him.
right.
Like this guy Jones, Alex Jones. He's this, he did this in the past, he did that, he did this done. So you're slandering the guy,
Right.
all right?
I got some. Oh.
Okay.
You're
If I
making
may.
him out.
If I may.
You're making him out to be a bad guy.
What did you? Okay. Yeah, possible. If I may. This is Matthew chapter 12, verse 34. It says, "O generation of vipers, how can ye, being evil?"
Why you so late, brother? Why you so late, huh? Why you so late? Okay, go ahead. I'm messing with you. All right, brother. All right, brother. You good? You good?
Keeping you sharp.
You had to mess with you.
That's Matthew chapter 12, verse 34. It says, "O generation of vipers, how can ye, being evil, speak good things? For out of the abundance of the heart the mouth speaketh.
Boom.
As a good man out of the treasure of the heart bringeth forth good things, an evil man out of the evil treasure bringeth forth evil things." So
Well, that's what y'all doing. By calling the brother, like we all do, like we teach it. Yeah, make sure you rape a little girl today.
that's evil, man. That's
But
fucking,
none of us get caught in that. Esau gets caught doing that shit.
yeah.
So we that fucking good?
Yeah.
You know, we that good? No, because we don't do that.
Right.
We taught it, and you guys ran with emotions, man. And there was a woman. What's her name? What's his name?
Joey Moore?
No. The Senator.
Oh, what was his name?
Napash.
Yeah, Napash.
Yeah, Napash Shadal.
Napash Shadal.
Yeah, Napash
She's
Shadal.
supposed to be married to Sarnetta,
Sarnetta, yeah.
right? Well, she even came out and said it, man.
Yep, she broke it down.
She broke it down. She broke it down the correct way. And that's to be ashamed. You should be ashamed of the fact
Right.
that she broke it down, and
A
none
woman.
of y'all challenge her, because she does know her stuff as a woman.
Yeah, that's
she
true.
does. She makes sure she get her shit together. You know.
That's true. That's true.
So you didn't challenge her about it, and she came out with it. All you other Israelites, you got you wrote on that shit, man.
Yep.
All of you.
You wrote on it instead of going in there. The scripture say in the apocrypha, you can bring it out, examine first,
Right.
then judge,
Right.
Yeah.
then
Right.
rebuke, then rebuke,
Right. It also says, prove all things, man.
and hold fast to that which is good.
I got one more verse that says,
A prudent man looketh well to his goings.
yep.
They're not prudent. You guys are not prudent. Go ahead.
It says, but I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. So you Israelites, all right, that are following this slander thing and shit that y'all doing, when Yahushua come, you gotta answer to him.
Yeah.
See, so you know, how bold are you?
Well,
You know?
it's just like the scriptures say about Yahushua. When he was about to be crucified, the scriptures say many false witnesses were brought against Yahushua. And one guy even said, "Yeah, we heard him say." He going, "That's right. We're preaching the destruction of America." Yahushua, the guy said, "We heard him say that the temple, you're going to destroy the temple and rebuild it in what? In
3 days.
days." And they had no clue. They didn't understand what he meant by that. He was talking about the temple of his body.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what he was talking about. Go ahead.
It says,
So
yeah.
that's the same thing with those guys with the law. You didn't understand the law.
Yeah.
And Elder Apostle brought out the information, then later us. You didn't understand it.
Desire to be teachers of the law,
Which we read earlier.
Yeah.
And not understanding what they say.
or
or
whereof
what
they affirm it. Yeah, that's
Just
right.
like that guy that heard Yahushua said, destroy the temple in
Right.
3 days,
Yep.
and I will rebuild it.
When they said, "Eat this flesh and drink
Yeah.
my blood,"
Exactly. Go ahead.
Yeah, it says, but I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment.
So the day of judgment is coming. Man.
Yeah, man.
The day of judgment. And when is that going to be?
When
That's going to
Yahushua
be when Yahushua comes back with those angels, bringing that salvation to the elect, but destruction.
and that's
Isaiah
how
66:15.
that's how a lot of those wicked Pharisees and them back then got a lot of innocent Israelites put to death because of those false accusations,
False
slanders,
accusations. Yep.
You know,
Slander.
bearing false witness,
Bearing false witness. Go ahead.
Yeah, that was
and they would pay people. They would actually bribe people to be false witnesses.
Well, like I said, if you go to the account when you have
Well, that might be them coming back.
Yeah.
The IUIC, that marching that they do, you know what they're saying? That that's a fulfillment of Ezekiel chapter 37, an exceeding great army. So we're just niggas. We're just niggas out here quoting scriptures the wrong way.
Yeah, they're the army of God. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, that was it.
I got
Yeah, that was-
that scripture.
What you got?
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus 11:7.
Yeah, go ahead.
Blame not before thou hast examined the truth. Understand first and then rebuke.
Yeah, did you guys examine what Elder Pastor said about the great? Did you examine the law? Did you get an
They're
understanding?
not that deep because they don't
No,
go
you
into the
didn't.
Hebrew or the Greek.
No,
That's why Paul Kersey said they can't go into plain English. They always got the Paleo Hebrew. The Paleo. I remember when you said that.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think? When Christians go buy Christian books of different authors, why they buy them books? Because they do research. When you go into the scriptures, when you go into commentary, and you read certain things, and they'll say, this goes back to the Greek word for this goes back to the Hebrew word for this. Then they'll give you Bible references, man. Hey, I went into,
Hermeneutics.
the other day, I went into, and I did this a couple of times. I went into Daniel 7, and I went into the commentary, and I believe every last one of them commentators said the same thing. They said the first kingdom was the Babylonians, the second kingdom was the Persians and Medes, the third kingdom was the Greeks, and then they mentioned Alexander, The fourth kingdom is Rome, but then they go off with the second part of Rome. When the Lord said, he told his disciples, the disciples said, when shall be the end of the world? What was the word there? The word there was eon,
Eon, yep.
which means a certain segment of a time of rulership. The Babylonians had an eon, right? The next kingdom was the Medo-Persian Empire. They had an eon, a time to rule. The next kingdom was the Greeks. They had an eon, a time to rule. So when the Lord said, the end, when the disciples said, when is the end of the world? The word was the end of this age, the end of the Roman Empire. And then the Lord said he's going to come back to do away with the Roman Empire. Did the Lord come back and do away with the Roman Empire? No. He came back to do away with the reborn Roman Empire.
Right.
So you can only know that when Christians come up with John 3:16, and they'll say, well, it says God so loved the world that whoever, that's talking about the whole world. What do you have to do? Let's deal with the word world.
Right.
How many times is the word world spoken in we're dealing with the New Testament.
Right.
How many words is it spoken? Four times, right?
Yeah. 4 different words, yeah.
4 different words. One, like John 3:16,
Cosmos.
is the cosmos, which means a certain arrangement of things.
Right.
Right? Rock and roll world.
Right.
The tattoo world.
An arrangement.
The hip hop world.
Right.
You got different constellations of stars, which are considered worlds,
Cosmos, yeah.
cosmos.
Animal world.
The animal world. Yep.
Sea world.
The sea world. Yep. The world of the bees, the world of the insects.
Yep. Many worlds.
There's many worlds, right? So you got to explain it to them because Christians don't know that.
Right.
So that's one word, cosmos. Then you got another word, oikoumene.
Oikoumene.
When you go to Revelation
3.
chapter 3, verse 10, matter of fact, read that real quick. I want to get it. I want to get the writing correct. I want it to be read correctly.
Revelation chapter 3, verse 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience.
What does that mean in a nutshell? That means you kept teaching His word. You got the word, and you kept teaching it.
Right.
You didn't turn. You didn't take vacations. You kept teaching it, right?
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yep. And we kept it the right way.
You kept it the right way.
We didn't go to the right, or to the left.
Yep, that's right.
It says
We didn't add or take away.
Yep.
And that's another thing that IUIC is guilty of.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. Change it. Change like
And then,
like
you made a statement, right? You said, we're supporting Kyrie Irving, right? Kyrie Irving is what? Kyrie Irving. You want to hear what I got to say? Huh, sis? Kyrie believes in many gods.
What you say, legs?
She was smiling at me with her.
For JJ.
it was sunshine at nighttime.
Cute little girl.
Yeah, there it is.
I must say. Sister looked mighty good.
Yeah, yes we did.
Right next to the other chick. You know?
Yep.
That's why she turned around with a big smile on her face.
Yeah.
Hey, but anyway, what was I saying?
Revelation 3.
Revelation 3 and 10. Oh, I was saying Kyrie.
Right.
I said you made a point. We're here to support the brother Kyrie Irving. Well, guess what? Kyrie, one day he's a damn comedic. The next day, there's one video that I saw last night where he said, and I'm a sue.
Yep.
I'm a
Yep.
freak.
Yep.
And I said, wait a minute, man.
Yep.
And I thought both parents were Galax, right? His mother's a Galax. He ain't
Right.
giving no fucking props to his father. His father's Judah.
Yeah.
So he keeps saying I'm a Sue, I'm this,
Yeah,
I'm that.
yeah.
I said, you ain't no Sue.
Yeah.
You ain't no guy looking like Rumpelstiltskin.
Yeah, you talk about you Sioux Indian and the Creek Indian and
Yeah,
all that.
yeah.
That's your mother. So that shows you that you don't understand the scriptures.
Yeah.
But then sometimes you see the guy wearing
Yeah, he's all
he's all over the goddamn place.
conflagellated.
You know?
Yeah,
He's all over the place like bird shit.
Yeah,
But you guys said you support the guy.
Yeah, yeah.
And then when they asked about these black people, a group, Israel Uniting Christ, was out there supporting you. What do you got to say about that? And he
Right.
played it off. You can see he was lying. He said, I don't know what you're talking about. What group? So he dissed y'all, man.
Yeah.
Where did the Lord say go down there and support Kyrie Irving? Where's that in Scripture?
Yeah.
You're doing your own thing. Like I said, the gospel according to Bishop McCann.
Right.
Yep.
Not the gospel according to the scriptures,
Yeah.
man.
How about
Right.
you? Yeah.
That's right.
You're doing your own thing, man.
And that's why the Apostle Paul warned us about guys like you. He said, you might well bear with them. If another come in another spirit,
Right,
another name, and
right.
another spirit.
Right.
That's you guys. You got to bear with them. Your
That's
father.
that's Galatians, right?
Yeah.
Ah,
I believe what the scriptures say, man. Keep reading. Keep reading
Okay.
Galatians 1.
oh, Galatians 1. Sorry.
You might well bear with them. The Apostle, look, this ain't nothing new. There were guys like you back in the past. There were guys like you during the time of
Right.
Yahushua.
Right.
There were guys like you during the time of the Apostle Paul.
Time.
Why you think that Jude, and we always bring this information out, why you think Jude was inspired to write the book that he wrote? The book of Jude, the first chapter.
Well, you had a lot of apostates back then, but so you got a lot of apostates now.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
another thing that you did, Bishop Nate, either was on the Go Black to Africa show or was the guy with the Jason Whitlock, that clown. That dude was a complete, I would have got off that. I would have said, man, I would have did a damn yay on
Yeah,
your ass.
yeah, I know.
Just got the hell out. He said, my enemy is me. When I go down there to the strip
Oh, yeah,
club,
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah,
enemy was me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, he looks. That dude looks slow, man.
He's trying to explain
Yeah.
to Nate, and Nate is letting him speak. I said, brother, what the fuck are you talking about, man?
Exactly.
You, like I said in one video, you in the cotton field picking cotton, right?
Right.
Master got the whip. Come on, pick it up, boy. Pick it up, boy.
Right.
And you saying the enemy is me. Are you out your fucking mind?
Are you out your
That's why you can't talk.
Yeah.
And all that, basically, that was a gimmick, man.
Right.
That marching around, Barkley said it was nothing but a gimmick.
Yep,
And then those people that let you on them different shows, why did they let you on them different shows? Because they got the memo. Okay, we're
Right.
gonna let this guy. That's called a media tour.
You did a video.
That's called a media tour.
You did a video where you explained that. You said you went on a media tour.
Yeah.
Also did a video where you explained.
Yeah, me and
how you-
Yasha, we was
Yeah.
on a media tour, man.
Until it got too hot in the kitchen.
Until it got too hot, it was just whatever show. And we cursed them out. We lost it. And then all those we had. Basically, when you go on a media tour, the first show, let's say you go on CBS, they'll make you sign a contract, and they'll say in the contract, I will not go on any show before I go on this show. All right? So you reach the contract. If they say, okay, you're going to do the show on a Thursday, then CNN say, we want you to do a show on a Wednesday, you got to tell them, you got to say, look, I got a contract with these guys
Right.
on a Thursday.
Right.
Now we can do the show on a Friday.
Right.
That's how it works. Anytime you go on the show, you got to sign a contract, man.
Yeah, I think they also.
So that was part of the media tour that we went on.
Yep.
And then we just lost it on one of them shows, and you guess what? They didn't call us back.
Right.
We went on a couple of shows. We even went to Canada.
Jane
to-
Whitley. Was that Jane Whitley in
whatever
Canada?
name, up in Canada, man.
Okay. Galatians chapter 1 verse 6. I marvel that ye are so soon removed from him that called you into the grace of Yahushua.
And your leader is a good example of that. What's an
Because
example?
he's teaching you another gospel.
Another name. 25 years ago, more than 25 years ago, he did that video where he expertly broke down the name of the Father and the Son, right? And what is he teaching now? He's on this Most High and God Christ blessed.
Right.
So he has another gospel.
Right.
He has another spirit and another gospel.
Yeah, he has been removed.
He has been removed.
And by the way, for you, ASAP, that we're talking about your organization, because you came against one of our men, man.
Yep.
And the spirit was on that man, just like Stephen, the spirit was on Stephen, man. And then what did you do? You did your go-to thing. You guys are a bunch of rapists. Instead of, hey, does not the scripture say, come, let us reason together?
Yeah,
you,
right.
you don't reason, man.
Right.
Unreasonable men.
Debate thy cause with thy neighbor.
Debate thy cause with thy neighbor.
Well, your leader starts with your leader. Your leader was unreasonable during the Cornelius Council. You know, when we said, okay, we're not going to teach it, all right. One of you guys said, well, is it in your mind though? And that was being totally unreasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it says that's a fulfillment of Matthew 10. They shall kick you out of your synagogue.
Yeah, and then you
And they
guys.
kicked this out because of the Cornelius thing, but then years later, they're teaching that Cornelius is Israel.
Yeah.
No
And no
apology.
apology.
No apology whatsoever.
So your leader ain't shit.
No character, man.
No character. He ain't shit. Go ahead.
It says,
That's why the niggas falling apart.
Exactly.
You know what I mean by falling apart?
Yeah.
Back and forth in the damn hospital.
That's right. That's right.
As soon as you come out the hospital, Yahweh and Yahweh shot.
Yeah.
A week later,
Yep.
right, Most High bless.
yeah.
Yep. Most
Who's
High
the
God,
King Christ?
bless.
Who the King Christ?
Yeah.
Exactly. A double-minded man. What did was that James? James, the book of James. I think it's 1 and 8. A double-minded man is unstable
In all his ways. Right.
So that guy's double-minded, man. Go ahead, bro.
Okay, Galatians 1 and 6. It says, I marvel that ye are soon removed from him that called you into the grace of Yahweh Shai unto another gospel.
And that another gospel, another example of that is that law, the law this and the law that. And you guys don't understand the law. Like we just read in 1 Timothy. Not understanding what they say or what they affirm. Talking about the law. Okay? You guys don't even understand the law. Go ahead.
Which is not another, but there be some that trouble you and would pervert the gospel of Yahweh Shai.
And that's what you guys are doing. You're perverting the gospel of Yahweh Shai. Starting with the names of, you have a video of Nate making fun of the name of the Father
Yeah.
and the Son.
On the stone.
You know, he's going, he's making fun of the name of a name that you taught more than 25 years ago. And you taught it with passion. Now you're making fun of that name. All because you believe that we don't have the Hebrew. You call it Ebonics.
No, but then they say you got to change your name.
Right.
You can't have a cool name. You got to change your name.
You gotta have a Hebrew name, but the Lord has to have an English name.
But he said that we don't have the Hebrew that our elders taught us, King Marshall, Elder High Priest Yahiquab, Elder High Priest Ariah, they taught us the real Hebrew. We believe this by faith. Isn't
Right.
this thing of ours based upon faith?
Right. What's the language of Canaan?
The language, now the precept, the prophecy says,
yeah.
if we go to that real quick,
Okay.
Isaiah 19. So is the Most High a liar?
Isaiah 19. Right.
Wait a minute, Numbers 23 and 19, it says it's impossible for the Heavenly Father to lie.
Yep.
Now the prophecy in Isaiah 19 speaks about how we, in this Egypt, which we know that the Egypt is talking about America, how we're going to speak the language of Canaan. So is that a lie?
Your
Right.
5 cities of the land of Canaan. What does that mean? What does Isaiah 19 mean? I did a breakdown on it.
Exactly. Go ahead, brother.
Isaiah-
And Isaiah 19, it speaks about Egypt. It's not talking about actual Egypt. That's again, like we said earlier, that's a code.
Right.
That Egypt is talking about America. America is spiritually known. Even the scholars know this.
Yeah,
Right.
the part, there's a verse in Isaiah 19 where it says, Judah shall be a terror to Egypt. What does that mean?
Even
You would say, anybody in the former One West would say that that's talking about America, right?
Yep.
But it goes on to say 5 cities in Egypt
Go read it. Yep.
shall speak the language of Canaan. What's the language of Canaan? Paleo-Hebrew.
Paleo-Hebrew.
I can say it that way.
Paleo.
That's right.
So we're speaking Hebrew. We might be speaking broken Hebrew.
Right.
We might not be speaking it fluently,
rehearsing.
Right.
Rehearse
but we're
right.
rehearsing the righteous acts, man.
Right.
When I open up, I don't say Most High Christ bless.
Right.
Exactly.
What I say when I open up, I say all praises to Yahweh
Bashem
Bashem
Yahshua.
Bashem,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then I'll say
Haloyim.
now it's done,
Now it's done.
Halal Yom La Yahweh Bashem Yahshua Bashem Mukakadash. That means giving all praises to the Most High and His beloved Son.
Right.
That's
That's
right.
right. Go ahead.
Okay. Isaiah 19 and 18. In that day shall 5 cities in the land of Egypt.
So what day is he talking about? Now, right
Yep,
now.
yep.
We're in that time right now.
Yep.
Go ahead.
And in that day shall 5 cities in the land of Egypt speak the language of Canaan.
The land of Egypt is talking about is America.
Right. Revelation 11:8.
Right. Matter of fact, you can get that possible.
Got you.
Revelation 11 and 8. And like I said earlier, even the top scholars of Esau, they know America is spiritually known as Egypt. They know America is the modern day Egypt. They
Right.
call it the modern day Egypt.
yeah.
Why? Because America has the symbols of ancient Egypt.
Right.
Well, even back then, they were speaking Hebrew. When you
Right.
read a few more chapters up, when the captain was it Rapshakeh, one of them,
Right.
came to the heads of Israel,
Oh, yeah, the
they
Syrian.
started speaking
Right.
in the Hebrew tongue.
Right.
And he said, look, speak to us in the Assyrian language.
Right,
We
right.
understand it.
That's
but
right.
don't speak to us in the ears of the people.
That's
So
right.
why would they have to turn back to the language of
When
Canaan?
they're already speaking it.
Exactly.
So what time period is that talking about? What time period is Isaiah 19 talking about? Talking about right now.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Revelation 11 and 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city.
Dead from the neck up, meaning they're not knowing their true nationality. That's what it means, dead bodies. Go ahead.
Which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt.
Which spiritually, and that's what Isaiah 19 is talking about.
Right.
You have to be spiritual to understand it. Remember what the Apostle Paul said? Comparing spiritual things with spiritual?
Right.
That's an example right there. Isaiah the 19th chapter.
Yeah, and I think it was Yahweh Shah who said that if anybody believes in the Most High, must believe in Him in spirit
And in truth.
And in
And in
truth.
Right.
What is the truth?
Right.
Even Pontius Pilate asked that. What
Right.
is truth?
There's certain scriptures in the Bible, say it again, that you have to be spiritual to
Right.
understand.
Yes.
That's why the Apostle Paul said, comparing spiritual things with spiritual.
Spiritual,
He
right.
also said to, what was that? The Corinthians. He said, I couldn't speak unto you.
Right.
1 Corinthians,
Right.
third chapter, the first verse.
Right.
I couldn't speak unto you as spiritual,
Right.
Right.
but as carnal, even as unto babes.
Right.
Right.
Okay?
Because they still weren't on the level.
They
Right.
weren't on the
Understand?
level.
Right.
Okay? Go ahead.
So it says, where also our Lord was crucified.
Read it again. Sorry.
Con. But their dead bodies shall lie in the great city, which spiritually is
That great
called
city is talking about America. America's that great city. Go ahead.
Sodom and Egypt.
That's the key word there, which spiritually is called Sodom. Why is it called Sodom? Well, what does America promote?
Right. Moism.
Yeah, Moism. We're going to say it that way so they don't take the video down.
They promote alphabetism.
Right. Because you can't speak about the Moes
Right.
because platforms like YouTube will
Right.
take down your video.
Yep.
Just so you can't
Okay.
speak about the liquid hats.
Yeah, you can't speak about the little hats. You can't speak about the Moes. You can't speak about the trannies.
Right. You
Right.
can't speak about the PEDOs.
Yeah, the PEDOs, you can't speak about them.
Right.
But
So
then-
is this a moral society?
But wait
No.
a minute. But then they'll tell you you have free speech. This is a free speech society. It's bullshit. Okay?
Right.
And the real people you can't speak about is the small hat.
That's it.
But mind you, it's a free speech society. In America, we have free speech. Oh, really? So how come there's a group of people I can't talk about?
Right.
No matter all the wickedness that they've done, I can't talk about them. But I have free speech, right? It's bullshit. Go
Free
ahead.
speech, but it's limited.
Yeah.
Free limited speech.
Free limited speech.
It
Go
says, and Egypt.
ahead. And Egypt. It's called Sodom and Egypt. Why is it called Egypt? Mainly because these people here, which are the Israelites, they came into bondage. They came into slavery, just like in ancient Egypt. Okay? That's why this place is called Sodom and Egypt. It's got to be talking about America. Okay?
Yep. It says, where also our Lord was crucified.
What does that mean? Well, also our Lord was crucified. The real image of our Lord is not pushed here in America.
Right. It's crossed out.
Right. They're pushing what? They're pushing the image of the so-called white man, which, by the way, they call him what? Christ.
Right.
Now, this is what you don't understand, Nate, which I believe you do understand. Every time you say Christ, what image is coming
Right.
up?
You invoke
The image of the so-called white
Yeah.
man. You're invoking that image.
which is the same image that our people have been following for ages.
Exactly. It is used on this guy's show. What was that?
Jason Whitlock?
Black to Africa. Black to Africa.
Okay, yeah.
You on that guy's show.
I'm not sure
That
his name.
image and that image, and you're going all into what the Lord looked like. What about his name? His name is as important as the image.
Right.
Why didn't you go into the name?
And when he did push out the name, he threw out several names.
Yeah, you threw out a myriad of names.
Yeah, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes with you, man.
So it's some suspect, man.
So he can valiantly defend the Lord's image. No, the Lord looked like a so-called black man. Look at this image. The image.
Yeah, but what's his name? The
blasphemy.
important thing is what's his name.
Exactly. That's blasphemy. And you know the way that you were saying it. But meanwhile, what about his name? Why didn't you go into his name? Isn't that as important as his image? Go ahead. You got that other scripture we're reading?
Con, yep.
Isaiah 19.
Yeah, that was it. That was it.
Matter of fact, let's go into Isaiah 19
Come.
quick. Let's go into it quick. Let's go through it. Let's
Okay,
go through
Isaiah
it.
19
Wanna start at
and
1?
Yeah, start at 1.
It
We'll
says,
jump around a little bit.
it says, the burden of Egypt. Behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud.
Why does it say the burden of Egypt? Because America is going to be destroyed
That's it.
by Yahweh Shai and those angels.
And that wasn't talking about ancient Egypt.
It wasn't talking about ancient Egypt. Yahushua is going to destroy this place with those so-called UFOs
That's right.
and the missiles. That's why it says the burden of Egypt. That's America's burden. America's heading into what's it say in Revelation? She goeth into perdition.
Addition, yep.
Go ahead.
It says, and shall, I'll read it again. The burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift
The
cloud.
Lord rideth upon a swift cloud. What's the precepts for that? Isaiah 66:15, Revelation 1 and 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him. What is that talking about? So-called UFOs, the chariots of the Lord. Go ahead.
And shall come into Egypt.
And shall come into America. That's
Now,
what.
wait a minute. Where did that happen in ancient Egypt?
Yeah, in
During
ancient-
the time of Moses. Did
Exactly.
not they leave the land? Did not they go through the Suez Canal,
Yep.
which is an extension of the Red Sea? Did not they go from Goshen? And by the way, the Egyptians didn't put him in Goshen. They settled in Goshen as a Hyksos.
Okay.
So that's where they dwelt.
Right.
When they escaped, they left from Goshen, and the Suez Canal was opened up, and they went right in between the Suez Canal and the Gulf of Aqaba. The Gulf of Suez, I said the Suez Canal. The Gulf of Suez and the Gulf of Aqaba. The sea was split, or that river was split, and they went right into the wilderness of Zin. So where's the cloud at? No, ain't no cloud. The cloud was there when they got into the wilderness. The
Right.
cloud was there to guide them
Right.
for
Out
40
of
years.
Egypt. Out of Egypt.
Isaiah 19 is not talking about ancient Egypt with
right.
Moses.
Right.
It's talking about now. Like I said in one video, I think it was this morning or the other day, I said, you got to speak in code. I said, the Most High put this Bible together in code.
Right.
What if the Most High just wrote it out in plain English?
They
They would
would,
outlaw the Bible.
They would have
Yep.
outlawed. Yeah, well, even with the code,
Trying
they
to
tried
Oh,
to.
watch your back, Apostle Tar.
Even with the code, they tried to outlaw the Bible. Even
Right.
with the code.
You know, I looked up that word burden, right? It goes back to the Hebrew word masha'ah, which means tribute, figuratively an utterance, chiefly a doom. You know, doom. So that's the
That's
burden.
America's future. Doom.
Yeah.
Hey, wait a minute. When back in the the 90s, you had Bush. You know, he was trying to make fun of us when we were out there teaching. He called us what? The prophets of doom.
Yep.
Because our main message was what? The destruction of America.
And Trump said the same thing.
And Trump said the same thing.
He said you can't tolerate these prophets of doom.
These prophets
So
of doom.
he didn't say, what are you talking about? Because we are prophets.
That's right.
The Most High didn't send bishops out here. He didn't send deacons. They don't go out. You know who goes out and speaks? Prophets
Yep.
and apostles.
Teachers. Yep.
Yep.
That's why we have 100% truth. Even now,
right.
you, Paul Kersey, you admitting that you don't
good
have
point.
100% truth.
That's a good point. Yeah, the bishops really didn't
What
go
you
out.
guys do is put on performances, man.
Yeah.
You're not real prophets, but you play prophets on YouTube.
All the world is a stage.
All right. It says, the burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt.
And you know what's precept lines up with that? Zechariah the 5th chapter. Then I saw a flying roll, and then what the Lord told Zechariah, it shall enter into the house of the thief,
Right.
and shall consume it there. What was that flying roll? So-called UFO, chariot of the Lord. So that's a precept to what you're reading there, Zechariah the 5th chapter. Go ahead.
And the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence.
Yeah, the idols of Egypt. What is that talking about?
That's some of their churches.
Yep.
You know, which
Hollywood.
all, Hollywood, all of that. Everything
that
that they
nonsense.
worship.
Everything that has to do with America. That's why
Exactly.
this place got to be destroyed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the kingdom of heaven, you ain't going to have the Empire State Building and say, oh, that was the Empire
Right,
State Building.
right,
That's
right.
New York. No, everything going to be melt with fervent heat.
Heat, yeah.
Right.
The stones of the lines of
The lines of
confusion
confusion.
and
Yep.
stones of emptiness.
That's right.
Yeah. In reality, the Empire State Building, in reality, is a graven image.
Yeah.
It's
It's
a
an
graven
obelisk.
image.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And the Lord said, "You shall not have what graven images."
Right.
You
That's
know,
a,
what's that? Hollywood is a graven image.
right. Yeah.
What else? No?
Anything that they worship.
Yeah, the White House.
White House.
That's
yep.
a graven image. The Lincoln Monument.
Yeah.
That's a graven image.
Yeah, people pay homage to it.
Yeah. America is filled with graven images.
And that's all a part of the image of the beast.
That's a part of the image of the beast. Yep.
The new
Yeah.
world.
Go ahead.
It's not a picture of Caesar right here.
Nah.
Right.
Oh, watch our back, brothers.
The image of the beast is the Roman Empire, the system of the Roman Empire.
Right. And that's why.
America is the new Roman Empire.
That's right. And that's why it said that the beast, the deadly wound was healed. We're in the part of the deadly wound being healed.
The reemergence, the deadly wound was healed, the reemergence of the so-called Roman Empire.
And then it said he exercises all the power of the first beast before him.
The Roman Empire.
Yeah. What the
Because
fuck does that mean?
Yeah, America's system is based upon what? The ancient Roman Empire. Even the Caesars, the way that they're chosen,
Yeah.
goes back to the ancient Roman
Yeah.
All the
Empire.
presidents, current presidents, were the Caesars in another life.
Yeah.
That's what I meant to say, the presidents.
Yeah.
The
I
12,
said
the 12
Caesars.
feathers.
Showing you right there. I said the
Yep,
Caesars,
yep.
but I meant to say the presidents.
Right. Well, that was the spirit.
Yeah, that's the spirit. Also,
Same thing.
You have the what?
Same
You have the
thing.
Senate,
Yeah.
right? You have a Senate now.
Yeah.
So America is the reemergence of the first beast that you mentioned.
And then
which
they
is
will
the
give
Roman.
the government over to one man,
Yep.
you know?
Go ahead.
And the heart of Egypt shall melt.
Wait a minute. Doesn't Esau have a group called the Club of Rome?
Club of Rome.
What's that all about?
Well, that was the Club of Rome was established to bring together the EU nations. That's a beast all over again. It really started with the Renaissance,
Right.
Christopher Columbus. That's when that's the birth of it, man. When
Right.
it came over here to the Americas.
Right. Go ahead, bro.
All right, and it says, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst
That's
of
the
it.
fear.
Yeah, yep.
That's why it said further down in that same chapter, Judah shall be a terror to Egypt, meaning
Right.
the people of Egypt, the rulership of Egypt are going to be terrified.
Right.
They're going to be filled with fear.
Right.
And they're filled with fear right now
Yeah. Yeah.
because of the fact that we're saying that we're the Israelites.
Yeah. That's Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, the 1st verse.
God.
Then shall the righteous stand in great boldness before
the
those
face.
that have afflicted them.
Right.
When the people see it, they shall be what? Troubled with terrible fear.
Right.
That's just one example. Now, this thing with Kanye, what is he doing? He's stirring up the Lord's people. He's stirring up.
Well, he did his part. He's a bug
Yeah,
out now.
he's a bug out
he
now,
was on this guy Jones, Alex Jones show.
Right.
He was dressed up as the gift.
The gimp
So
here.
he's a fucking clown. He's a
Right.
clown. You know?
Exactly.
I was cracking up when you said that.
Yeah, but the Heavenly Father used them to
Go to
do what?
Google and putting the gimp.
The gimp, yeah.
Hey, the Heavenly Father used them to do what? To stir up. All right, to stir up this knowledge, to stir up. He didn't have the full knowledge, but at least he was saying that what? We're the real Jews.
Yeah, I saw some videos, I think, where him and Kim was dressed like that.
Right.
You know, all in black with that
Bottom line, he's a
mask.
bug out.
Yeah.
He's a bug out, man.
He
Nobody
broke
takes
out.
him. The ADL, you shouldn't take the guy serious one, man.
Hey,
Right.
there's an old saying, right? Even there's an old saying.
I can't get nothing either.
Even a clock is right twice. A broken clock is right twice a day. Now Kanye is a broken clock,
Right.
but at least he did. The Lord used him to do one thing, which is to. Now everybody wants to get into this, and then the Lord used Kyrie Irving. On the heels of Kanye,
Right.
then the Heavenly Father put the Spirit on Kyrie Irving. So between these two guys, the knowledge is being stirred up.
Right.
And then you know
Yeah,
what?
the Most High used Kyrie and Ye and
Yep.
Nick Cannon
Yep.
just to put this thing in the forefront,
Exactly.
and then he pushed him out of the way.
Then you push him out. the way.
Speaking of Nick Cannon, he's in the hospital right now. He's all jacked up.
Because now the Lord's people are going to be like, what is this Israelite? I keep hearing about this thing. Why you think those two chicks, right, when they were walking by,
Yeah.
they heard you mention Kyrie Irving. And I just wanted to hear what you were saying about Kyrie.
Yeah.
That's what one of the chicks said.
Yeah.
That's the proof right there.
Hey, well, that brought a lot of attention to Israel.
Exactly. And then Nate, you did, even though it wasn't in good taste spiritually, you did that marching gimmick.
That was a gimmick.
That
was a
marching gimmick. But it still evoked.
You jumped on it.
Yeah.
You jumped on it. That's all you did. You jumped on it. And
Yep.
I kind of gave you props for that.
you
I said,
said
go
you
ahead,
tip your
go
hat
ahead
to-
and do your thing. I
Yeah,
tip
yeah.
your hat. I tip my hat.
But it was a gimmick.
But guess what? We're going to jump on your back.
Yeah.
We're going to jump on what you got.
That's right.
Because what
right.
the scriptures say, what did the
Right.
Apostle Paul say?
That's
I
coming
think
back.
that the Lord sent us
The apostles.
last, the apostles last.
Right.
You're not an apostle,
Not an apostle.
all right?
Good. Go ahead.
Yeah, I couldn't find
Yeah,
the internet.
it's
Okay,
real
don't
slow.
worry
It's
about
real
it.
slow.
This is Isaiah 19, again, towards the end. It says, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it.
Right.
And I will set the
So
Egyptians.
we already explained that. That's talking about the fear that, and
Yeah, the melt part is talking about their heart melting is the fear.
Yeah,
yeah,
Son,
They
you
won't
want to
have
throw that
fear
under
in
the
their heart.
yeah,
Oh,
under
they
there,
woke
yep.
up. Oh, they
Yep.
found out.
Yep. Hey, will Jake really go? Because the scriptures say that, look, you can bring in 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter. It says there shall be sedition among men. Now, when Jake really wakes up to the so-called government, they're going to go ape shit. And that's really, okay, go ahead. That's really when that fear is going to ramp up. Okay? When Jake really starts to lose it, especially against the so-called government.
That's the Lord stirring Jake up.
Yeah. Who shall rouse him up?
That's right.
Genesis the 49th chapter.
That's it.
Judah is a because right now Jake is like asleep, but he's like a sleeping lion.
Right.
He's a sleeping giant. So once the Lord wake him up, he's really gonna lose it.
Because there's always something there to kind of probe them. You know, like when you kind of stick at somebody
Yep.
and they kind of get tired and after a while, motherfucker.
Yep. Exactly. And that's what you're doing, Esau.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing. You are waking up
Prodding,
the
you
sleeping
keep-
giant.
yeah.
You're waking up the sleeping giant and Jake.
Yeah.
You're waking it up.
Hey, what the scripture? What is that? Is that what is that? Micah 5:5-7, where it speaks about
Yep. Micah
Judah,
5:7.
the Israel being among the Gentiles, as a as a young lion.
As a lion amongst the sheep.
Yeah.
Now who's the lion? The lion of the tribe of Judah.
Judah, that's right.
The so-called Negroes, what you call the so-called black man. Once he really loses it, that's it. Go ahead.
Okay, and it says, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother.
Now, what does that go into? That's different groups of Esau coming
Right.
against each other. Like case in point, you have the Republicans and you have the Democrats. Now the Republicans, they got their set of beliefs. The Democrats got their set of beliefs. Both so-called white people, both Edomites, they're going to come to blows, man.
You had the Civil War.
Okay? What's that?
The Civil War when they were actually fighting with each other.
Yeah, you had the Civil War. That's
Watch
a good
out.
example.
Watch out backs, bro.
Yeah, we see it. Read it again.
All right, and it says, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians.
Now remember what Yahushua said. He said, a kingdom divided against itself
Shall
cannot
not
stand. Now is Esau divided against himself? Absolutely. Like I said, you got the Democrats and the Republicans. They're both divided against each other.
They're
Okay?
one of the brothers.
Go ahead.
Hey,
All right,
shalom,
so,
brother.
All right.
It says, and they shall fight every one against his brother.
And they shall fight everyone against his brother. That links up with 2nd Esdras 15. There shall be sedition among
Right.
men. All right?
Invading one another.
Fighting one another, going against the government. You see that in certain movies. What was that movie with the Dave Bautista? What was that? The actor Dave Bautista. It took place in Brooklyn.
Oh, Cloverfield, something like
No,
that.
not
I know what
Cloverfield.
movie you're talking about.
Oh, you talking
It
about
was Insurrection of the Government.
It was the insurrection. It was on Netflix. If you go to Netflix and you go to Batista, that
Yeah.
movie came,
Yeah,
something about Brooklyn? I forget.
yeah. It was shot in Brooklyn. But then that's just one example. You have other movies where they show the average people rising up against the government, insurrection, so to speak. So
Yeah.
that's what that's talking about. We're in that time now. Wait, when they make this thing mandatory, the
Scripture
MOTD.
said, if Satan be divided against
Against
Satan, how
Satan,
can that kingdom
kingdom
stand?
fall?
If the kingdom be divided against the kingdom, how can that kingdom?
Right.
This country is divided, blue and red.
Hotly divided.
Anytime when I remember years ago when I was a kid, if you had an election, presidential election, governor election, Senate election, you knew 9 o'clock that night when the election came in. They said this guy won.
Right.
But now it's so close, 49 to 51%. There's more votes coming in, and it's gonna take another week, another month. That's talking about the kingdom is split in half.
Right. So how can this place stand? Go ahead. So that's that. Read that part. I will set the Egyptians.
Yep. I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother,
So that's what that means. All right. We gave you some examples. Go ahead.
and every one against his neighbor. City against city.
And that's really going to escalate when the wicked elite put the squeeze on this place. A
Yeah.
good example of the squeeze is when they make this MOTD mandatory.
Yep.
Like it says in Revelation 13:16, which by the way, IUIC, you can't break that down to save your life. When it says he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, to receive what? Receive a mark. Now you won't be able to eat, you won't be have a place to stay,
Yep.
you won't be able to do business unless you have that mark.
And that right there proves that you don't, that the spurs of the Most High is not dealing with you fully.
Right.
He's not dealing with you 100%. Because even Esau knows that that's talking about the the microchip. Even Esau knows that.
Yeah. Even Glenn Beck was talking about that on his show.
So why don't you know? Now there's one of two reasons why you don't know, that you don't teach it.
Right.
Either you was paid off
Right.
not to teach it. Now we already know. Hey, shalom, man. Shalom. Now we already know. We already know that General Yohanan sold the fuck out.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
But now it's coming. There's a movie out called Guy. You know.
Oh, sudden.
Right.
Lee.
Guy suddenly. I don't even want to say it. I watched the movie, right?
Right.
And they showed you how many, the records, the statistics.
Yep.
How many people are not having children
Right.
on a world scale? How many people are dying?
Yep. They
And
saying
they link it all back, and they had expert doctors say it all links back to that jab. And what did you say, Johanna? General Johanna?
good
You
hit.
said the first thing you said when that thing came out, and they didn't even approve it, man. It was under emergency approval. They didn't even approve it. And you said, go ahead and take it.
So you want to put that in your.
All right,
So you want to
want me to
the
put it in
bag?
the truck? Son?
Yeah. But if it keeps like this,
I don't think none of them brothers got umbrellas.
let's see what happens, man. We might close this thing up early.
Yeah. Another example is with all the information coming out on the wickedness of the so-called government, you know, with the so-called COVID and how that was a scam, and
Yeah.
how that was a scam, and what else? The different scams that the government is
Fuck him
involved
up.
in.
Yeah. Let's just close it. Talk to him. Do what you got to do. We just want to get out of here.
Yeah, the different scams that the so-called government was involved in. More and more people are waking up.
Yeah.
That's why Jay Rockefeller said the internet should have never been invented. Why? Because it's waking the people up. So as they get woken up, they're coming against the government. And that's that scripture, 2nd Ezra, there shall be sedition among men. Because they're finding out the treachery of their so-called government.
Well, that's what there's going to be, a sedition.
That's why it's going to
It said their power shall stand in their own, something like that.
Yep.
In 2nd Ezra 15.
Because the people are going to fight against what? The government.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You know what?
Together right now. Do what we got to do. We're going to line them up and we're going to go.
Okay.
We're not going to have no speeches and nothing like that.
Second,
No crying speeches.
2 Corinthians 15. It says, for the sword and the destruction.
Put this in the truck.
Yeah, it says,
None of them guys got umbrellas. That's the change.
yeah. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another.
Now, why is there going to be sedition? Because, like I said, more and more of the hidden secrets of this government, the wicked hidden secrets, are being exposed. By what? By the internet and by different individuals. Now, you go to the book of Psalm 64, did not the Lord say he's going to cause those
on
guys
tongue,
on the
yeah.
inside to what?
The tongue to fall upon their own
reveal
selves. Yeah.
You shall make that tongue to
Fall upon themselves. Yeah.
So over the years, you've had many guys that were on the inside become what? Whistleblowers.
Yep.
Like you had not Alex, well, to somewhat degree Alex Jones, but really Jordan Maxwell, Anthony Hill.
Well, Alex Jones is control opposition anyway.
Control opposition.
He's saying that's not this big thing. The thing that the small heads are afraid of, the ABL, is that we're saying that we're the people of the Most High.
Yeah, that's the main
We're
thing.
saying that's anti-Semitic.
That's
No, it's not
the main thing.
anti-Semitic. It's a controversy, man.
Yeah.
It's something that's got to be debated upon.
Right.
We got to go into the facts.
Yep.
So
Well,
he was told, he was given the memo to say that the Ethiopians are Jews,
right.
as opposed to we're not being a Jew.
Right.
So they realize that Jews are black.
Right.
So is it impossible that with the Jews? It said in the place where it was said, ye are not the people of the Most High.
There.
Yeah, it shall be said, you the people of the Most High.
People of the Most High.
They've been calling them Ethiopians Jews since the time that Shalmaneser put them in that land.
Exactly. Exactly.
Truth is coming out. You can't turn it around after Jones' money. You can turn it around, man.
Right.
It's already the cat's out the bag, dude.
Too many guys around here speaking, bro.
That's,
And then
it's only going to escalate.
and then all of this attention is being put out there by all these celebrities speaking about it now.
Exactly. And like Elder Pastor gave the ultimate level. That we're the Israelites, that information coming out. But there's other, like you always say, there's levels to this shit.
Right.
There's other levels, like the wickedness the government is doing. You know, that's coming out. And it's making them look bad, and people are waking up, and they're having a, you know, when people hear the truth, some of them, they have what they call a negative reaction to the truth.
Yeah.
Either they want to fight, or they want to go to war. Okay? So that's why you have what the scripture says.
Well, was
Insurrection against, you know.
against the government.
Yeah.
Was that Ford? They said if the people knew how the money system worked,
That was for it.
there would be a revolution overnight by tomorrow
that
morning.
I show you that they don't know what's going on, man.
That
Right.
information's coming out.
Yep.
Straight secret.
It said they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power.
Yep. You can
That's talking about the average person. You see what's happening around the world. You see what's happening in China. They're saying they ain't getting locked down this time, man. So they're fighting people. They're willing to die. Because a lot of them was locked down and they wasn't getting fed. The government promised they were going to feed them. They wasn't sending them food, man. And some of them was even climbing out of windows with bed sheets.
Yeah.
So they said this is not going to happen this time. So that's the fulfillment of 2nd Ezra 15, verse 15.
Done.
go. And it's not going to go quietly into the night. It's only going to escalate more and more. As a matter of fact, Yahushua gave a clue. He said, I am come to send fire upon the earth, and what will I
If it be
already kindled?
Yep.
So the fires are being kindled. The fires are being kindled to the point where America is going to go to what? America is going to go to war with Russia and these other neighboring countries that's going to help Russia. That's in Ezekiel the 38th chapter. Iran, all right? Iran is one of those countries that's going to help Russia. Iran, what else? Ethiopia, Libya. So the fire is not going to die down. The fire is only going to rise. Yahushua said it best. When I come, shall I not, how's he say that? I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I
if it be already kindled. Yep.
So the fires are being kindled right now. Okay? The fires are being kindled right now.
Yeah, there was news that pretty much Russia got Ukraine. Basically, there's nothing they can do. They killed like over 1 million men. They're running out of ammo. There's nothing they can do. The only hope that they have is that NATO get involved. The NATO ain't planning on getting involved. Because as Biden said, Joe Biden said, they said, are we going to go into the war? He said no, because that would be World War III, which is Armageddon.
There you go.
So they're trying to stop Armageddon. They're trying to stop World War III, but they ain't going to stop it.
General.
The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight.
Yep. They have become as one.
General.
And they're not going to want to fight. They say, no, we ain't fighting. And then the Russian army, the military, they're battle tested, man. When you're constantly fighting war since you was a kid, you constantly engage in actual real war, not war games.
Right.
You're battle tested.
Yep.
The military men of this country is not battle tested. Now they're over there in Syria. Syria's getting the upper hand over the U.S. and dropping bombs on them, man.
Done.
A lot of this stuff they leave out of the news.
I got something for you, Apostle.
Go ahead.
Isaiah 13:17. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces.
And that's talking about, without going into a long dissertation, that's talking about Russia. The Lord is putting the spirit on the so-called Russians, like Apostle Qatar mentioned, to be battle-hardened, battle-scarred, and they're just ready for the next battle. That's what they want to do. As a matter of fact, Putin, the spirit that's on Putin is to bring back what? Imperialist Russia.
Right.
To bring back Mother Russia.
Turn
because
hooks.
Ukraine is a former member of the Soviet
Right.
Union.
But they are Russians.
And that's that Jeremiah either 50 or 51 Assembly of Great Nations.
Yeah. Yep.
That's why he wants Ukraine. He wants the Ukraine to be part of Mother Russia.
He wants it annexed back.
He wants to annex the Ukraine back to Mother Russia.
Because they are Russians.
Right, they're so-called Russians.
Yeah.
Anyway, with that, we're going to say shalom.
Shalom. How's the bar?